All right, here we are, Thursday. Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome to Survive to Thrive. Grab some pen and paper, get ready to take some notes. I'm going to jump around a little bit. So, this is not my message, this is a review. When you look at your real estate business, you have three different lead generation models that you can follow. Prospecting, that's a P. Can't tell if you can tell. Marketing and repeat and referral business. This is your database. Look at this as three buckets, right? Now you can focus 100% of your effort on prospecting and pay no attention to marketing and repeat and referral business, although I wouldn't suggest that. Ideally, you want to be focused on all three. Starting out, you're probably going to be more focused on prospecting, less on marketing, because we lead with revenue, which means we make money before we spend money. And starting out, you don't have the repeat and referral database that you're going to have a year from now or 2 years from now. Now, there are 250 work days in a year. That's working 50 weeks, 5 days a week equals 250 work days a year. There, you can see it, kind of. All right, there we go. If my standard is 20 conversations, now this is interesting because I shared this with somebody else and they assumed I was just talking about this. Not true. Conversations come from prospecting, they come from marketing, and they come from repeat and referral business. All of the above. Now, if my standard is 20 conversations a day, I'm going to have 5,000 conversations in a year. Now, my goal is I want to build my database. And we're building it from the outside in. I need one more circle there. We have haven't mets. These are the people who we haven't met yet. In other words, they don't know you, you don't know them. They definitely don't know you're a real estate agent. Your goal is to move them in to your database as a met. And the simplest way to do that is, hey, by the way, I'm a real estate agent. I like to keep my friends and family members updated on the market. That simply means I send interested information on the real estate market once a month. And I call like every 3 or 4 months just to check in. Would it be okay if I add you to that group? You move them from your Mets to your sphere of influence. This is the group who knows you, likes you, and if they were to buy or sell a home, they would work with you. You have past clients and you have raving fans. All right. The other goal of this lead generation model is to fill your pipeline. Let's say you're making prospecting calls or you're got incoming calls that you're converting to an appointment, or it's a repeat and referral conversation. It turns into an appointment. If my standard is, in addition to 20 conversations, I'm going to book one face-to-face appointment every single day. That means I have 250 face-to-face appointments in a year. Next, I'm going to follow up systematically in order to create emotional proximity, which simply means when they get ready to buy a home, they're going to work with me because I've created top of mind by staying in touch. All right, so there's the model. Here's the subject. I want you guys to think about it. I'm talking to most of you who have been in the business a while, not those of you who are brand new to the business. Even though this is going to apply to you and you'll understand it, it may not hit you the same today as it will 5 years from now. So here's the exercise, guys, or here's the question. Do you remember when you first got into the business? I do. It was 2002. I got my license because my wife thought it would be a good idea. I was a part-time real estate agent who sold one home in my first 6 months. I sold 60 homes in the next 6 months after that. And what changed? I went from being a part-time realtor to a full-time real estate agent in 6 months, and real estate became my only source of income. I've got this 6-figure income back in 2002 that I need to replace. Colin was 5 years old, Lacey was 6 months old, and it's urgent. Write that down. Super important. All right, let's go back to the conversation. Do you remember what it was like when you were first a real estate agent? You had fear, anxiety, and stress. 6 months into my real estate career, I had fear, anxiety, and stress. But here's the other thing I had energy and urgency. That's the part that you want to tap into. I had energy and urgency focused on this because this is how I'm going to build my business. And I brought massive energy and massive urgency to the job every day. Here's the thing. It's amazing what we can accomplish when we have to. When your back is against the wall and success is the only option, it's success or you don't feed your kids. It's success or you don't pay the mortgage. It's success or you have to quit real estate and go back to doing whatever you were doing prior to real estate. You have passion, you have energy, you have urgency. And those are the things that drove you to success 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, that's missing today. That's part of the problem. You've lost that passion, that urgency, that energy. And I look at people all the time. Matthew, I have conversations with people all the time. And I say, Michael, the more conversations you have, the more appointments you'll book. I mean, raise your hand. I'm going to go to a gallery view. So in the video world, if anybody's watching this on YouTube, they can see all the hands go up. Raise your hand if you're sick of hearing me say, the more conversations you have, the more appointments you book. Go ahead. It's all right. Raise your hand. Yeah, old guy, I understand. I get it. And she's not the only one that raised her hand, by the way. She just happens to be right here on my computer screen so I can see her. Right? I get this glassed over look. Like,
John, I love hearing it. I love hearing it.
Yeah, you're the one.
Because it's the truth.
You're the one that loves hearing it. So it's okay. By the way, I'm totally cool with the fact that you don't like to hear it. Guess what? I'm going to keep saying it.
Preach it. Preach it.
I'm going to preach it until I'm gone, Kevin. I am.
I think I need to hear it over and over and over.
Debbie, I couldn't agree with you more, but here's the other thing, guys. And remember, I'm on the phone or on Zoom meetings with hundreds of real estate agents every week. And I hear patterns in their speech. Check this one out. I just want easy deals like we had in 2021. I just want for my phone to ring with buyers and sellers who are looking to buy a home. My phone isn't ringing anymore. I'm looking for an easier way. Yeah, John, I get it. And, I understand that whole time block lead generation, 20 conversations, 2 appointments book, whichever comes last, but there has to be something easier. Can I just do a whole bunch of YouTube videos and lots of people will call me to buy and sell? Yeah, you can. But guess what? That's lead generation too. Because what are you doing when that person calls you? You're converting the conversation to an appointment. That takes effort and skill. You're following up systematically. That takes effort and skill. But the bottom line is the market you're in today is not the market you were in 2 years ago. Get over it. Okay. Anybody leave? No, good. You're all still there. All right. The market you're in today is not the market you were in 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago. So here's the next question for you. What do you want so badly that you will do whatever it takes to achieve that? That's part of the problem here, guys. And if I'm super successful, that's a problem for me because I'm happy, I'm comfortable. Why should I go for more? I was having a conversation with, I think he would be totally fine with me mentioning his name, and I'm going to mention it anyway, so maybe he won't be, and I'll find out later. So I was having a conversation with my business partner yesterday, who's Rich Tomasini, for those of you who don't know. And Rich is doing really, really well in his rev share business, right? He's built one of the most successful rev share businesses in the company. If you look at the alpha report that goes out every month, raise your hand if you look at that. I do. Yeah, I know exactly. Everybody that I'm coaching on rev share should be raising their hand on this one. Okay. So his comment to me was, I'm number 30 on the report. And I'm like, dude, that's amazing. He goes, not good enough. Like, really? Tell me why. He was like, gotta be in the top 10. I said, okay, help me understand. This goes back to, what do you want so badly that you will do whatever it takes to get it? And I said, tell me why that's important. He says, when I go from $1 million a year in revenue share to $3 million a year in revenue share, I could pick 5 people at the end of every year or 6 people at the end of every year, and I can give them $250,000 in order to help them make a difference in their life. The difference between me creating a massive difference to the community of agents that I'm in business with and me not being able to do that is the difference between number 30 on that alpha list to being in the top 10 in the alpha list. I said, I got it. I understand it. Now it makes sense. You've created a goal that is so big and that you want so badly that you'll do absolutely anything to get it. That I get. So that's the first solution if you find yourself in this place where you've lost your passion. Here's the second thing. The second thing that you want to do is you want to put more structure in place. You've got to create a bunker around you. You've got to get into your calendar and time block lead generation every day. If it's not in your calendar, it doesn't exist. If you didn't do lead generation, I bet you anything, if I were to ask you, tell me what you did yesterday. And your answer is, I went to a home inspection, I went to an appraisal, I negotiated repairs, and you list all these things, but lead generation is not on the list. My answer would be, so you didn't work. Now raise your hand if you don't like that. It's okay, I understand. But until lead generation is done, everything else is a distraction. Until lead generation is done, nothing else matters. It's the first domino that you're going to knock over every single day. And if you're not time blocking for lead generation, it's not going to get done. So the second thing that you're going to do in order to get back in that place where you are passionate about the goal that you are chasing is to create more structure, time block, lead generation in your calendar every day. Get rid of all of the distractions. Remove every distraction from you. If you work in an office and people can walk into your office and talk to you with, got a minute, put a sign on your door that says, I'm in lead generation from 9 a.m. until 11 a.m. or from 9:30 until 11:30, whatever it is. Let people know I'm in an appointment. If Debbie Clark was on a listing appointment, I wouldn't walk in the door of the house she was on a listing appointment and walk over to the kitchen table and say, hey, Debbie, got a minute? That would be ridiculous. Would anybody do that? Of course not. Then why do you allow people to do it to you when you're in lead generation? That lead generation time block is just as important as that listing appointment time block. Matter of fact, I'll tell you, it's worth more. It's more important. Create accountability so that you have to hold yourself or someone is holding you accountable to the standards. Write that down. What am I accountable to? You're accountable to the standards. You're accountable to how many people you're going to speak to. You're accountable to how many appointments you're going to book. I'm accountable to getting face-to-face with one new potential seller every single day. I'm not going to stop until I do. And at the end of the year, when I've done that, I've got 250 potential sellers. Now I'm accountable to systematic follow-up in order to create emotional proximity. And when I do that, 20%, and I'm not picking the number out of the air, that's experience, both in production and as a coach. 20% will hire me. There's 50 seller listings. If I showed up at the beginning of this call and I said, raise your hand if you want to take 50 seller listings in the next 12 months, who would raise their hand? So when you don't raise your hand, I wonder, is it because your goal is higher? Or because you don't want to take 50 seller listings? Or you're not going to raise your hand no matter what I do? Right? That's it. Right? Yeah. My buddy Hank says, raise your hand like every other minute. And we're on the Hive call and I'm watching. I'm like, who's raising their hand? Debbie's laughing. I love Hank. Hank, if you watch this video, don't get mad at me. All right, Jojo, talk to me.
Oh, I was just raising my hand because you said raise your hand.
Thought so. That's so funny. That's so funny. All right. So here's the thing. Have somebody.
Hey, John, really quick. The reason why some people may not have raised their hand, maybe it just flew over their head, number one, because 50 listings, even if you're thinking to take 100 listings, 50 listings are still included in the 50. So everybody who's shooting for 100 listings should have raised their hand, regardless.
I agree, Kevin. Thank you for that. I mean, good perspective, right? And I think it's just mostly, I'm not raising my hand no matter what you say, John. That's cool. I live with that. So who's holding you accountable? I've got one more thing to share with you, and then I'm gonna turn the microphone over to you guys. My best accountability partners in the last 25 years have been my kids. When they were younger, I had pictures all over right here in front of me. If I could show you my office, there's pictures of Colin and Lacey everywhere. And I can hear them saying, make one more call, make one more call, make one more call. When I was going from 1 sold in the first 6 months to 60 sold in the next 6 months, it was a grind. There was a lot of fear, a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress. If I didn't get 3 closings in the next 30 days or 9 closings in the next 90 days, I was going to fail. I was going to be left with no other option other than to go back to business I was in before or start over again. Bottom line, I wasn't going to be able to take care of my kids. So it was desperate. It was desperate. It was urgency. When Lacey was in treatment for cancer for 52 weeks, and I would watch what she was going through, which was 10 times more painful than lead generation ever will be. And I could see how she would attack that every single day and never complain and never gripe and never lose hope. My accountability was, I've got to live up to the same effort that my 14-year-old daughter is putting into this. I mean, if she could work that hard, so can I. All right, talk to me, guys.
John, when you were talking about time blocking in every hour of the day,
Yeah.
at least me, and I'm guessing a lot of people, were probably thinking, A, what their schedule looked like yesterday, and what they actually did. I was mentally going through all the time that I wasted on things that didn't matter, and then what I had scheduled today and what I can cut out of my life.
Yeah. Thank you, Brian, for being transparent. Thank you for sharing that. I promise you, you're not alone, okay? We want to do those 80% things because they're easy and we feel busy and we confuse accomplishment with being busy. They're not the same thing. Melissa, talk to me.
For a newer agent, what I find is that I'm overwhelmed with everybody telling me you need to lead generate, you need to call, but nobody, I'm really confused on who to call, how to call, where to find the people to call. Like, where's the best place to learn that?
All right, start with the people you know. If I'm new to real estate, hey, Melissa, it's John Dietz. Now remember, you know me. Hey, Melissa, it's John. I wanted to call you with some exciting news. I have started a new career in real estate. I'm super excited. I have a goal to sell 12 homes in the next 12 months. And the way I'm going to do that is by providing my friends and family member with value. And I've got two questions for you. Number one, is it okay if I add you to that group? I will send you valuable information every month. And I'll call like every 3 or 4 months just to check in. My second question is, if you knew of somebody that was going to buy a home or sell a home, would you potentially, listen to that word, don't leave that word out, potentially is big, would you potentially refer them to me? Start there, Melissa. The next thing I would do is I would add 2 people to that group every day. I would talk to strangers. I don't care how you do it. Go walk a neighborhood, go stand in line at Starbucks, go talk to strangers. Hey, my name is Melissa. I'm a local real estate expert. I am building a real estate business in the blank community. I like to keep my friends and family. Okay, so start building your database. The next thing that I think everybody should do, could do, and it's skill that you can develop as a brand new agent, you don't have to be in the business a long time, is circle prospect around homes that sold. A home in the neighborhood recently sold. There are still buyers looking for great homes like yours. Who do you know that's looking to sell in the next 6 months? I'll give you one more, Melissa. Do open houses. You don't have to have a listing to do an open house. Find agents in your market and offer to do an open house every single weekend. You do 52 open houses in the next 52 weeks, you're going to find buyers, I promise you. Okay, Sean and Hawk.
Yeah, I would say if you take your lead gen or your schedule and think of it as a car, no car takes off at 100 miles an hour. It's a buildup.
Right.
So if you're doing it today and every day, really schedule time to do something you like to do. Let's say you're watching some series on Netflix. Don't avoid it. Schedule one show a day that you're going to schedule time. You're going to watch it at whatever time. And that's it. Because I know I could start at 8 in the morning and fill my schedule with things to do till 10 o'clock at night. And so that also includes family. Like right now, I'm driving my oldest to school. I put that in my schedule. So schedule things that you like to do. Live a life. Have some balance in there. It's time over talent, but the time doesn't mean all the time. It can be, I'm making my 3 calls for now, and then that turns into 4 and then 5, just like a car, 0 to 60 in however many seconds. It doesn't matter what the car is. Just start doing it. And by the end of the week, you'll have made however many calls and you'll realize it's easy and it'll grow.
Well done. Well done. Thank you, Sean. Hawk, you're up and then we're out.
I just want to say, I as a new agent, I am technically a new agent. A lot of the things that I'm doing to generate leads, one is FSBOs and then expireds. Facebook groups, I generate probably 1 to 3 leads per day that I'm on Facebook, that like contracts when I'm on Facebook. Now I'm spending 2-3 hours there networking, finding people. I'm still in bed.
I love
Right?
that. Put a shirt on Hawk, right? Yeah, it's that.
That's why
I
trying
didn't
to
say
keep that
it
one
in the
chill.
chat.
I know. That's why I'm trying to keep the anyways, that just for anybody who's new out there, you can get FSBOs off of Zillow for free, 100%. And then just go into Facebook groups. Those are great ways to network.
Hawk, you're amazing.
There are groups for every city,
There
literally
you
every
go.
city on Facebook.
There you go.
People asking questions, and don't go like looking for people saying, "Oh, I need help with selling or buying a house." It's, "Hey, what's going on?" And I'm looking for a restaurant, or I'm looking for a babysitter or whatever. Just be a friend.
All right. Melissa, here's your job. Reach out to Hawk on Workplace. Melissa, I'm assuming you're with EXP. If you're not, okay, you're not. That's fine. Google his email address.
I can get Melissa. I can get you his number.
There you go. Reach out to Hawk and ask him how to do that, because I saw you and you're going, what does that look like? It's a good question, by the way. Connect with Hawk.
Melissa, just think if you were to come over to EXP, you
Oh,
could ask
stop it.
Workplace and go
Stop
that
it.
route.
Stop it. Okay,
And he's right. My last listing came from a Facebook group.
there you go. There you go. All right.
There was somebody looking to sell a house though. So
There you go. All right. All right. Great job, everybody. Love you guys. See you tomorrow morning. Make it a great day.
Have a great day, guys.
Debbie.
Take care.